Are you struggling with a baby that wakes up at all hours, leaving you tired and exhausted? In today's video, we're going to look at why your baby might be waking up at night. And I'm going to show you some tried and tested methods that will ensure that you, your baby, and the rest of the household start to get a good night's sleep again. There are several reasons why your baby that may have been sleeping through the night beautifully starts to wake up suddenly. They could have encountered a sleep regression. Their sleep cycle could be maturing and changing. They could also be experiencing separation anxiety. They could be hungry or uncomfortable. They might not be able to self-settle without you when they wake. And they could be going through a nap transition. But regardless of why they are waking up at night, there are 5 key things that you can do to help your baby re-establish a good sleeping pattern and start sleeping through the night again. Number 1, and always top of my list, is establishing a regular and recognisable bedtime and nap routine. If you don't have one already, then please put one in place. Getting your baby in the right frame of mind for sleep is really going to help. Keep the lead up to bedtimes and nap times as calm as possible to avoid overstimulation. I would avoid any screens and have a pre-nap or a pre-sleep routine. So obviously at bedtime, it would be bath, bottle, book, then bed. And for nap times, you could have either a bottle or a lullaby or a song or a little ritual that you do before you put them down to sleep so that they know that it's time for sleep. And finally, and very importantly, you have to start teaching your child to self-settle. This means avoiding falling into the trap of rocking them to sleep or feeding them to sleep. Ideally, you need to start putting them down to sleep when they are drowsy but not fully asleep. So they still need to be partially awake. And the second thing you need to focus on is baby wake windows. As your baby grows, they become more alert and more aware of the world around them. In the first year of life, your baby's brain will double in size, and all that learning of new skills and taking in this new world around them can be very exhausting. But they do not have the maturity to know when they need to sleep. So they need your guidance. So knowing how long is age appropriate for your baby to be awake so that you've got a good idea when they start showing those fussiness signs that they are actually ready to sleep is key to your success in managing their overall sleep. So number 3 on the list is managing daytime sleep. Whenever I'm asked about sleep issues, I always say you need to look at sleep as a whole. So if you're having problems at night time, you cannot look at it in isolation. You always have to look at your baby's sleep in a 24-hour period. So getting naps right is key to getting nighttime sleep right. And when your baby is going through a nap transition, it can start to set a sequence of events that means that daytime sleep and nighttime sleep all start to get out of kilter. So if your baby is sleeping for longer than normal during the day and is waking up more at night, the chances are that you need to look at their napping schedule. There are common ages when babies tend to drop a nap. So between 6 and 9 months, they are usually falling into a very regular 2-nap routine, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. And any time between 10 and 15 months, they'll drop that morning nap and settle into a 1 nap after lunch schedule. Now, I would also recommend at this stage that you make sure that your baby is taking the majority of their naps in a designated sleep space. Gone are the days where you had a newborn that would sleep anywhere and not be disturbed by hardly any noise. As your baby matures and becomes more aware of the world around them, they are going to be distracted and disturbed by visual and noise stimulation. Therefore, a dimly lit, cool, quiet room is the best place for them to nap and gives you the best opportunity to make sure they succeed in napping well. So number 4 is to help your baby be content when they are away from you. Separation anxiety is a very normal part of your baby's development, and I will guarantee that nearly every baby will go through it at some point. But there are things that you can do to help your baby cope, because if you don't, it will impact on your baby's sleep. So what are key things that you can do to help your baby with separation anxiety? You can let them spend short periods of time away from you with close family and friends. That's a really good way to start because you know they're safe, it reduces your anxiety, but it also gets used to them being away from you, and you can practice your goodbyes and your returns in a safe place. I'd also encourage independent play. Allow your baby to play on their own in their crib or playpen and just leave them for a couple of minutes and come back again. Also a good way to practice goodbyes, returns, and gets them slowly used to you leaving and coming back again. Play fun games like peekaboo and hide and seek. Again, you are removing yourself from sight and coming back again in a very safe and fun environment. You also need to have a goodbye ritual. You need to be able to say goodbye in a positive and upbeat way, use the same words, and the more often you do that, the more confidence they have in your return because they know what the consequence is going to be. And I need to follow that up by saying never ever sneak away. That is the worst thing you can do, and it will always increase your baby's separation anxiety because once they realize you've gone and you haven't gone through the goodbye ritual, they're going to panic and they're going to be more difficult to settle with whoever they've been left with, or if they're on their own and they're trying to sleep. And finally, number 5, ensure that your baby is comfortable. If you're going to start dealing with wakings at night, you need to have a clear conscience that you have enabled your baby to sleep in the best environment and in the most comfort possible. You don't need to have any nagging doubt that maybe they're too hot, too cold, it's too noisy, too bright. You need to have confidence that you have created the best sleep environment for them so that you can concentrate on the other things that need to be addressed when your baby is waking at night. So to create a cozy sleep environment, I would recommend a white noise machine to cut down on ambient sound. The room needs to be at the correct temperature, which is ideally between 68 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 to 22 degrees Celsius. Your baby needs to be wearing appropriate sleepwear for the time of year and to have a clean diaper. And I would also recommend blackout blinds. They really help with nap times, keeping the room dark, and they help with early morning wakings as well. Of course, you also need to ensure that your baby is well fed. A hungry baby is going to wake up more often at night. And it's helpful to know by age what your expectation should be for your baby's waking for a feed in the night. So at 4 months, I would expect a baby to wake up 2 to 3 times at night. 5 months, I would expect them to wake up 1 or 2 times at night. And by 6 months, it is perfectly acceptable to expect your baby to be able to go through the entire night without a feed. So if you want your baby to wake up less at night due to hunger, and you know that they are able to do so, ensure that they are getting full feeds during the day. And when you start weaning, you need to make sure that they're getting enough solid food and enough feeds to make sure that they can go through the night. Another thing you can do is you can try giving them a dream feed before you go to bed. If you think they're on the cusp of dropping a feed at night, sometimes giving them that dream feed can actually help them go for longer during the night. And you need to identify which of the feeds that you're giving in the night are actually due to hunger and which are due to comfort. If your baby's only sucking for a short time and then falling back to sleep, chances are they didn't need that feed. What they were looking for is the sucking and you holding them and the comfort to put them back to sleep. And that's definitely a feed that you could have done without giving, and you could try to settle them another way. So there you can see are my top 5 tips that I would say can really help get your baby's sleep back on track if they suddenly started waking at night. We also have a bedtime and nap cheat sheet, which gives you some really quick and actionable things that you can do to help keep your sleep on track, especially if you're struggling with any of these sleep issues. So I hope you found that all very useful. There is lots of information there for you and lots to take in, I know. So do take a look at the extra info that's in the description box below to back it up and to give you more information on how to action it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. We really like hearing from you. And if there's anything that you'd like me to talk about moving forward, then please let me know and I will do my best to do a video on it. Thank you for watching.